I am a specific type of person. I am specific with the type of music I listen to. I'm very specific with the type of podcasts I listen to. So why wouldn't I be specific with the type of headphones that I use? And that's why I like JLab. They have headphones in a million different colors and styles with features you actually want. For travel, I use Epic Lux ANC over-ear headphones. They are comfortable for when I'm sleeping on that plane, and they have the longest active noise-canceling playtime at 60 plus hours, which is great when I'm on the road and I have a noisy hotel room. Look for the blue box at retailers everywhere or shop jlab.com and use code Iliza for 15% off your order today.
Hey, I'm Erica Mahoney, host of Lemonada's hit podcast Senseless. I want to tell you about an app that's honestly been a game changer for me, Duckbill. Duckbill is like an executive assistant for your personal life, powered by AI and real humans who tackle your to-do list so you don't have to. Because life is busy. So think of Duckbill like your personal task force that never gets tired, never procrastinates, and gives you a break. All you do is submit a task and they get on it fast. I've used Duckbill to manage my calendar, book doctor's appointments for my kids, order thoughtful gifts for my husband, and even plan my podcast launch party, venue and all. It helps me show up for the people I love and take better care of myself because time is power, and everyone deserves extra help in reclaiming theirs. So if your plate is overflowing, pass a few things off to Duckbill. Life is short, so duck it. Use code SENSELESS for 50% off your first 2 months at getduckbill.com. That's getduckbill.com.
Lemonada.
Ask me, ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them, we'll read them, then we'll give you answers. You know it, I've got it. I've got the answer. You ask me. I'll tell you anything.
I think this looks like a Japanese room.
I don't. I think it looks like a hostage.
A hostage?
Like you're in a hostage situation.
You have never been to Japan. The
or
buttery
a
yellow.
hostage.
That I don't know. The buttery yellow and the wood, it feels Japan-y to me, but up close, it's just Pacific Northwest, unfurnished office.
I love a built-in shelving unit. Like I just think that's the coolest.
I think it can be very expensive. Then there's this other version where this shelving was built in 2001. And you can't see it, but there's an extension cord here that's built in and you can't take it out of the wall because of the way the wood is built around it. So you're just like, cool.
It's there forever.
Cool. Oh, and Ethernet hookup. Cool.
Yeah, you're set. You're set.
Cool.
I run a 40-foot cable. There's one plug in my garage TV room area. And I ran this cable, but now it's out of date because it's lightning. So I need to run a new one.
Ethernet, just seeing the hookups for those things, and they're just gold cables jutting out of the walls, and the amount of hotels that were set up and still set up for Ethernet, still have the little phone jack.
Yeah.
Also the amount of hotels that have not, you don't need an alarm clock. Mm-mm. Literally everybody owns a cell phone. Mm-hmm. The amount of alarm clocks that have just gone off randomly in the night.
Yeah.
The second I get in a hotel, people are like, for safety, I jam the door, I fog up the windows. I immediately unplug the alarm clock and I unplug the phone.
I don't trust the alarm clock. I wouldn't trust it over my phone for sure. I don't know when it's going off.
Unplug. No, it will go off and it will ruin your sleep. And I unplug the phone because I'm like, there's nothing I need from the front desk. You guys can all call my cell phone. And 9 times out of 10, 1 out of the 2 phones in the room doesn't work anyway. And I don't know what that is. I don't know why we are still putting alarm clocks in rooms.
But I do like a little pad of paper.
You know what? Out of habit, I have that. I even have one by my bed at home. I never use it.
No, of course not. But I like having it there just in case. What if I need to write down something?
I like having it there so I take it. I like having it there so I can take it and have it. I put the pad at home and then not use it there.
I did put mine in my backpack.
So it was Father's Day. And, I put together a whole carousel of pictures about Noah.
Of your nice
Social media did
husband.
it for me. Noah put it together.
Noah put it together. Yeah, Noah didn't.
I'm trying
put
to
it
talk.
together.
You keep talking over. I'm just trying to say something.
Sorry.
social media put it together. They like pull a bunch of old pictures and I sent in some pictures of Noah and we were about to post it and I just felt bad. Like there was the No Kings protests and there's all the ICE stuff and there's Israel and Iran and like everything just feels so crazy right now. And the amount of times that I have had to say everything just feels so crazy right now, like since COVID, like crazy is the normal. But all at once, I felt bad for posting something dumb about Father's Day because the truth is Noah doesn't care. My husband, like, if you need to tell someone in your life how much you love them via the internet, like something is wrong. I understand doing it for friends because it's like a little bit of attention, but like Noah sure as shit doesn't care. I'm barely on his Instagram. And then I was like, if I post this, then I feel like I can't even handle one person being like, wow, but you don't care about the babies in Gaza. You don't care about the babies in a country you've never been to. And I just didn't feel like signing up for it. Not because I felt bad for that, but because of the scrutiny. Getting pictures from friends who do live in Israel and having friends who are Persian. Like just all of this stuff weighs on your heart.
Yeah.
And it just felt dumb. And I guess I just didn't feel like dealing with, even if it was one person out of 9,000 comments. And it just felt like the world was so heavy this weekend. Like nannies getting ripped away from the kids they're working with. And I didn't want to get it from conservatives and I didn't want to get it from liberals. And so I just didn't. And I know that that's the point, is to shame you out of participating in your own life. I just couldn't do it. And I know that this is a podcast. This is a place that we go to escape these things. But I would be remiss if I did not comment on how grave this all felt.
It is a weird time, especially because there's so much being shared, so much information. And even I think my friends that mean really well, I won't share anything unless I know it's 100% true. And it's actually very hard to confirm that.
It's so hard.
It's really hard.
So hard.
So it looks like I don't care, but really I'm just like, this is a great looking infograph or whatever, but I have not been able to find the resources that confirm it.
To verify it.
Yeah.
And moreover, like the fact that we have to do that research and the fact you constantly be verifying it and the fact that you have to worry about like, this doesn't look good, you know, and I always think about the fact that like the people who comment like, oh, wow, why are you so silent today? Those are bots. Like those people, quote unquote, those accounts are designed to upset you.
Yeah.
Because you could bleed all day, every day for a cause. And then you're like, you didn't post about the leprechauns vanishing in Ireland. And you're like, and so.
You know the dead internet theory, right?
What is that?
That basically so much of the content that we see and engage with, these people are not even real. It's just bot after bot after bot having conversations at the top of threads that you're talking to, that like this large portion of these people that we're seeing and thinking of as our colleagues and peers and whoever in the country are just robots.
I believe that. And I also think it's when you go to those accounts, it's always like an obscure name. It's never like Susan Randon, like Susan Smith.
Yeah.
Flower lover. It's always like Gibble.10. They're always on private. They always have like just enough followers that it doesn't feel fake.
Yeah.
And it's always an incendiary remark. And I think that's how you know it's fake.
And if you search the remark, you'll see 100 other people saying verbatim the same thing.
Oh, interesting. I never thought about searching the remark. So I do like that. It is infuriating that was even sent to bother me. Like that as a Jewish person who has time after time been like, I really, you know, of course I don't want anyone dying. They're like, you must hate people in Gaza. And you're just like, that is so insane that nobody ever listens to my side. No one's ever like, yes, and murdering Jewish people is wrong. Like you always have to account for the other side, which is part of the gaslighting. But it is infuriating to see, but you're right. And the more I think about that, the more I have to remember, like these people aren't real.
That's what makes
it's kind of
hard.
like masked protesters. Like I don't feel safe with anybody who covers their face. And to me, that's the same thing. Like if you're a real person, be about it. Like even if a celebrity endorses something that's wrong, at least you had the guts to like associate your name with what you're saying.
I guess it depends on the mask. Because if I'm out in a crowd, I'm going to wear a mask so I don't get ill again. Because look at me.
I'm not talking about that kind of mask. And I think you know it.
But yeah, like a full, but I
like
think.
Covering your face.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, when I was watching all the like ICE protest stuff, which I totally get, and you're like covering your face with a keffiyeh, I'm like, miss me with that one. Like that's agent of chaos behavior. I'm sorry. Like pick something else. Like you're trying to like make this about something else. Like you're trying to conflate two things. Anyway, there's just certain things that don't. When you cover your face completely, like people cover their faces because they know what they're doing is a crime or they will be arrested.
Well, it's just hard because that was then used against people who were masking previously. So again, not trying to be all, but also the other side. But it was like, well, you can't come in my store if you have a face mask on because I don't know, you might rob me. It's like, no, just people are coughing in there. I don't want to be in there.
I think we're talking about different things here. I think there's like wearing a full ski mask out to a riot. And then there's like wearing a PPE mask and then everything else is showing. I think those are two different things. But you kind of get damned for doing and for not doing. And it's just a disgusting time we're living in. And I was actually thinking about it today with this podcast. I was like, unless the reason people's podcasts get huge is because you are willing to go on, not all podcasts by any means.
Yeah.
But like more conservative, I suppose, male podcasts. The reason those podcasts are huge is because people are willing to go on a podcast and say crazy things. Like the more willing you are to say crazy, baseless, unfact-checked, one-site source things, the more of a following you're going to have. And I was saying it to him, I was like, I'm not willing to go online and say something insane that's designed to hurt people.
No. That is what creates loyalty. You're right. Is that, oh, no one understands because of this one weird, crazy guy who says I'm right and my paranoid delusions are correct. And it's like, okay, well, we're not here.
Because then anyone else who feels slighted is like, yeah, me too, for sure. And like we've just
the comedian to like right wing Patreon pipeline is there. Then there's money.
If you can say something that affirms someone's delusion while making them laugh, they got you forever. Yeah. I've seen it when I've like. I remember, I always feel like when there's a guy that I don't trust, like an idiot in charge, if I call another woman a bitch, I see the way their eyes light up. I'm like, can you help me out? Because this woman is being a bitch. And they're like, yeah, I got you. That's right. You and me, we got to stand against other women.
We have to.
Like just stoking the flames of like latent and blatant misogyny will get you everything.
Yeah, we should do that.
Let's do it.
Oh, I don't want to. It seems too hard. Because then those
people.
Sorry
that you're sick. You're so low energy right now.
I know. I'm sorry. I prepared for this all day.
This is you prepared?
I'm able to speak. I haven't spoken all day. So I saved it for this.
Does it hurt?
For the people. No, but it feels like it used to hurt. Now it just feels like it's fighting its way out of me.
Why don't you get a steroid shot?
Ugh.
You don't want to go back to work. That's why.
I'm working today.
Oh, you got paid. I guess you don't really have to talk that much at your job.
No, I moved my one-on-one meetings, but I joined big meetings and I made sure I spoke so everybody could hear me so that they feel, you know what I mean? Like in a big meeting, I was like, yeah, the update on this is that everybody's like, oh, we better leave her alone.
You're like, I'm not using a sick day.
No, I had too much to catch up on. Yes.
Speaking of things that are sick, I built this chair.
Oh.
No big deal.
Did you research it for the purchase?
If by research, you mean top rated and click the one on Amazon.
Okay.
And then I built it.
Do you like it?
No problem. I like it fine. And two of the screws are a little loose and I'm not going to fix it.
It's
but
fine.
I did it.
You could sit
Yeah,
in it.
it's fine.
did I tell you I bought a balance board to stand at my standing desk balancing?
Yeah. A while ago you did.
Oh,
and
I'm so proud of it.
What are you doing? Are you doing it now? Are you holding onto the desk?
No. I can't do it while I podcast. I need to be locked in.
I can't balance in pod. What do I look like, a circus freak?
I'm not an athlete. Can't balance in pod.
I'm not an elite athlete. I can't balance and think and type these emails.
Honestly, no, I can't. That's all true. Do you want to help people?
I do. I was to tell you about a deer that I saw.
Oh, please.
Okay. It came out. We were walking down some steps and it I heard like some rustling and it just slowly appeared like a spirit animal and it walked toward me. And I was like, oh my God, a deer. And my husband's like, do not touch it.
Do not.
I was like, what is he? He's like, they have disease. I'm like, it's not going to bite me. Anyways, I gave it some of the cookie in my pocket, which I know was wrong. But I did. And then it kind of looked at me and I was like, that's so cute with your little wet nose. And I think the worst thing about a deer is that when I say it's cute, people who live in rural areas are like, no, they're not. They're giant rats. You have to hear about how bad they are. Well, it had a little wet nose and big ears. And I didn't. And I just gave it some cookie. I know it's wrong, but I had to.
Have you ever seen a moose?
Not in person, no.
That would be incredible.
It would be incredible. I did see, we were on a bridge yesterday, some dolphins, but maybe it's more like a harbor porpoise or something. But I like got out of the car on the bridge because we were stuck letting a sailboat go by. I don't know. Because I know if I say dolphin, someone's going to be like, actually, technically, it's a harbor porpoise. It's totally different. But I was the only one out of my car. If I ever saw a whale in the wild, I think my face would melt.
Have you not ever been on a whale watch?
No, the closest I got was in Iceland. We went to a beluga whale sanctuary. And I was the only one there. And I got to go to the glass and they were bringing me their rope. Like they were playing with me. And I was hysterical crying.
Whales are incredible. I love seeing a whale. But I don't like those boats.
What boats?
The boats that take you whale watching make you sick.
Oh, okay. Well, I would love to do that. Every time I'm on Instagram and I see a video of a trainer, I just wait for something bad to happen. The only reason an animal should ever be in captivity is to make sure someone else doesn't fucking eat it so they can make dick pills out of it. That's why most animals are poached.
Here on Ask Eliza Anything, I think it's safe to say that we are dog people, right? We write in about our dogs, we exchange pictures about our dogs, but do we take our dogs for granted? I mean, my dog Tianfo is basically a throw pillow. She lives in my bed, she's always next to me. And I didn't realize how much potential she had, how much energy and athleticism she possessed until I changed up her food. Ollie delivers clean, fresh nutrition in 5 delicious flavors that even the pickiest dogs will love. Ollie offers 3 meal plans to choose from, so you can choose between a full fresh plan, fresh topper plan, or a mixed plan with their freshly baked recipes for your special baby. They also have treats and supplements, so you can get your pup on track to living their healthiest, happiest life. Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/Eliza. Tell them all about your dog and use code ELIZA to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they'll offer a happiness guarantee on the first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Eliza and enter code ELIZA to get 60% off your first box.
Hey, Julia Louis-Dreyfus here. If you listen to me on my Wiser Than Me podcast, you probably already know that I'm an investor and an evangelist for the Mill Food Recycler. There are a lot of reasons to love Mill, but for me, it's all about the impact. Keeping food out of the garbage is one of the most powerful things we can do to help the planet every single day. We're talking banana peels, carrot tops, old takeout. When that stuff heads to the landfill, it becomes a huge driver of climate change. If you already compost, great. But of course, there's the smell, the flies, the running to the curb every day with a little leaking compost bag made of cornstarch. That's where Mill comes in. It makes keeping food out of the trash as easy as dropping it in. It can handle nearly anything, from a turkey carcass to like 20 avocado pits. It works automatically while you sleep. You can keep filling it for weeks, and it never, ever smells. Mill makes dry, nutrient-rich grounds that you can use in your garden, add to your compost, feed to your chickens, or Mill can get them back to a small farm for you. But you kind of have to live with Mill to really get it, and that's why they offer a risk-free trial. Go to mill.com/wiser for an exclusive offer.
All right, let's get to sorry about the low energy, folks. Today,
I'm doing my best.
No, it's awful. And today we're here for you. So let's do a real episode of this pod. And
those are all the fake episodes. Patreon's still popping off, guys. Patreon, Ask Eliza Anything. It's getting fun.
It's the coffee corner. It's keeping it strong.
That was really, you know what, Eliza? I need to say right here and now, you were like, we need to do a coffee thread. And I said, I don't want to make any more threads. This is stupid. No one wants to do this. And you were like, I want to do coffee. I said, okay, begrudgingly, I'll make you a thread. Good luck in there. It's popping off. You know your audience. You know what you're doing. And I can admit when I'm wrong.
Saying popping off.
I don't know. It's like I just learned
someone new.
It's like I just learned it. I think it's because I was at a conference with all divorced dads seeing Big Boy perform. So I learned some new lingo.
Oh my God. I wonder how much he got. I bet you he got $100,000 for that.
I heard a little more than that.
I bet you it's like 150.
A little less.
125.
With the good rider.
135.
With a good rider, and he had 2 people with him. So I was like, good for him. But it was just funny to watch this audience of all like dads just like. Trying to get something going.
Shit, I'm making big boy money.
Yeah. Those conferences is a good gig if you can get it.
They're actually, I mean, singers have it so easy. Like, if you ever had to do an hour of crowd work to a room of all finance people who didn't know who you were, I have.
Ugh. But you won them over, right?
I mean, I guess what I won was the money I got paid and the dope hotel room. But
right.
Sometimes you take these gigs and you're just like, well, folks, here's the hour. Don't care. I one time had a band start playing as I was talking. And I was like, you know what? I don't care.
Right. You're getting paid.
But the truth is, it's not that company. It's one person that programs it. They're like, well, I like her. I'm going to bring him. And you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. They don't look at the makeup of the people at all, but they definitely are just like,
no one does.
Wouldn't it be cool if we could get this? And I was like, can he give me a ride back to Atlanta maybe?
Is this the time where I tell you guys that we are weeks away from shooting a movie?
Can you? Are things happening?
I guess so. I'm reticent to say it.
You can't say maybe the plot or anything, but you can say there is one happening.
I can say whatever, but I wrote a movie. I didn't tell you guys this anything.
No, you said you was...
All right, I'll save it to the bottom of You know what? You'll skip it to the end. I'll tell you about the movie.
Okay. All right, let's answer a question. Hey there, Pod Squad. I have a question you guys might not have firsthand experience with yet, but this only child could use some advice from Big Sister. I'm trying so hard to bring this energy up. In the beginning of April, my dad passed away unexpectedly. He was a decade older than my mom, so she always assumed she would outlive him, but we had no idea she would be a widow at 59. It's been devastating to say the least, but we are making do the best we can. The reason I'm writing in today is for advice from my mom. She's lonely. I'm an only child in my 30s, so got married late last year. I live a little over an hour away. My husband and I are working on moving my mom closer to us, but due to our rental agreement, we're waiting until August before we start looking at places. In the meantime, my husband and I are trying to plan something to do with her to get her out of the house every weekend, but we're running out of ideas. My mom lives in the middle of bumfuck nowhere right now. Seriously, there's more cows and horses than people where she lives. In an ideal world, I'd love her to make some local friends so she has options on who to hang with, but she's shy, never been very good at making friends. We moved around a lot as I was growing up, and while Dad and I found clubs or groups to make friends in, my mom usually made friends with our friends, partners, or parents. Liza and Emily, do you think of any ways I can help get her out of the house or ways that I can help her make friends? I know it's not entirely my responsibility, but when she tells me she's bored and lonely, my heart just breaks. Gotten her into my friend group's book club, but do you guys have any other ideas for her? Thank you so much. Much love from Orlando, the big gay blue dot in the middle of a red state. P.S. Additional context. The plan is to provide grandkids for her to pour her attention on, but they are not happening for a little while yet.
That's very sweet. I mean, did Dad die a year ago?
Beginning of April, so pretty recent.
I mean, that's
it's very
I understand
recent.
you want to get, I mean, everybody grieves in their own way. You know, you're trying to suss out, like, does my mom really not want to go out? Or does she wish someone would kind of help her out of her shell? I think you need to talk to your mom because that's pretty recent for your husband of that many years to have died. And she just may not be there yet. And I think you're doing so many sweet things. I mean, are you religious at all? When my uncle died, my aunt was like super into going to church. And I think she found like strength through that community and kind of, she already liked it. I know you're like, you're related to someone non-Jewish. I am. Is there any sort of organization like that? Can you ask her to help you search for places, like maybe like on Zillow, like involve her in that way? Ultimately, it is going to be her that has to get out there. She may not be ready to date yet. She may not be the kind of person who wants to take a trip, but I think if you sit with her and you ask her and try to suss out, like, does she have a want to do it? Or do you just want that for her and she just needs a beat? And then maybe you can look around, find some groups. There's always, I would type like keyword senior, like senior clubs or meetup, stuff like that. But take your cue from her.
Yeah.
Her husband died, you know? Yeah, can she sell her place? Can you help her sell her place? When you move her closer, can you move her closer to something that's a bit more social, like a park or something? She also just, I mean, this is so fresh. So don't force it.
Yeah. There's a new club in Atlanta that I saw where it's like people do crafts. They go to a movie theater and they do crafts all together during the movie. So the lights are left on. Now, that's not how I would like to watch a movie, but that kind of thing where she can just kind of be put in a room with other people like her without the pressure to talk to them is probably going to be a good fit.
Yeah, like a senior anything. I mean, also you're in Orlando, which is great for comedy, but
other than it's like a very family place. I don't really know a lot about Orlando culture. So I'm trying to figure out like where she lives maybe. But there's also like places people commune, like coffee shops. And like if she consistently goes somewhere, she'll start to meet other people. But those are my answers without really knowing much about it. Take your cue from your mom.
Yeah, I love those. This is such a nice kid. You guys are driving there every weekend. I mean, you're doing everything right. You know, it's going to take a little time.
Yeah.
Good work. Okay, now opposite end of the spectrum. Iliza, I love a face mask a time or two a week in my face routine. I hate the wasted product from it. Do you have a more environmentally friendly face mask recommendation?
Yeah, I do. It's called red light therapy.
Oh, excuse me.
I secretly think like those face masks, they moisturize for sure. And I'm sure some are better than others. But yes, they do feel wasteful. There are, you could also just do a heavy cream for that matter that you like sleep in. But I love a red light therapy mask. And sure, they're expensive, but I love red light therapy. I've laid in a red light therapy bed before and your skin just feels softer. These things are like proven to be better for your skin. Certainly can't be worse. So do that, plug it in, recharge it, use that instead of a mask.
What do you think about
Listen to a beauty podcast if you want like a certain brand or something. But I'm a big fan of like a mud.
But that's hard. That's what I was thinking is like the mud is environmentally more friendly, but it's more effort than a mask. You go bloop, bloop, done.
I guess. I mean, a mud also usually like draws impurities out. So you might break out from that, you know, but like a hydrating cream is always good. I have a lot of ones that you can just kind of like leave on overnight, but that's my answer. Invest in higher grade medical things. If it's, you know, $3 in a pack from Korea, like it's probably not doing much.
Yeah.
Hate to tell you.
Sorry. The most sorry.
Forget the
we've
Korea.
ever
If it's just $3, just because it's Korean, I mean, you're not going to be like, oh my God, look at this. I mean, there are ones that are good, but if you feel bad about it, as you should. I only ever do a mask if a dermatologist like puts one on me during a procedure. Other than that, I don't tend to do them anymore. I think they might be bullshit.
They feel nice, but
maybe on an airplane.
Hi, big sister and cool pod people. I could really use your help quitting this job. I'm 36 female, and after 2 years of trying to coexist with my boss, 46 female, I've finally hit my limit. We kept things professionally polite, but the truth is the relationship has been incredibly tough on my mental health. And I've realized it's time to move on. She's a micromanager who somehow also manages to give zero direction, which has led to plenty of confusion and missed expectations. She's constantly missing or canceling meetings last minute, and when she is present, she tends to either avoid taking responsibility or act like she's the most important person in the room. On top of that, she gossips about everyone. And unfortunately, I've been one of her favorite topics. It's been clear from the start, we don't trust each other. And lately, it feels like a series of quiet standoffs between us. Everyone at the company seems to also know what she's like, but no one wants to speak up. Someone did once and they were fired not long after.
What kind of company is this?
I know. So that was the end of anyone speaking up. But I'm a grown adult and I don't have the time or energy to keep dealing with this. I have another job lined up and I'm working on my resignation letter now. I'll likely need to stick around for about 30 days to help with transition. As much as I'd love to walk out and never look back, my industry is small and built on relationships. So I'm going to do my best to keep it classy on the way out. What would you do if you were in my situation? I'd love any advice or words of wisdom for surviving the next month without flipping a table or saying something I can't take back. Thank you.
When did you get this, Emily?
This was, it says just now, but that can't be right. And it's from someone named Skadiddly Doodah. June 12th. What?
Okay.
It's
all
June
right.
11th.
Today's the 16th. Today's June 16th.
My
We're
computer
recording this
says
early.
it's the 11th.
Well, your computer's wrong. Can we move on?
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm like, my rent, my electricity. It's that thing where like doing the right thing, it's all about like, don't let somebody else's shitty behavior affect yours. I don't have a real job. So to me, 30 days seems like a lot. Isn't it just supposed to be 2 weeks notice, Emily?
Yeah, but I think it's, you know, depending on your role, I think if she wants to keep a good relationship, she's agreeing to a little more to make sure everything transitions smoothly.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. If you already have the job lined up, okay? If you're telling me, and I never quite trust people when they write in, they're like, here's all the bad things. I'm like, because I'm not there. I don't know the boss. I don't know what you're like. If you're telling me your boss already doesn't like you, already doesn't see your value, and already gossips about you, do you really think giving her an additional 2 weeks is going to like change her opinion of you? If you're already working for her and doing your best and she already says all this about you, I don't know why you would go over and beyond to help her more than you're legally required. Because what would be awful is if you do all that and she still says all this stuff. So get that job, do the professional thing of the 2 weeks, and do not spend a minute there longer than you need to.
She's not even worth doing some sort of like flip
Nope.
off to. Like, you're done. You're getting out. She's not. Finish your 30, finish whatever. You're good. Good work. You got another job in this market. Good work.
Never, ever do the Jerry Maguire walkout moment that we all envision. We've had this question before. It will never make you feel good because you will be waiting for the other shoe to drop forever. You'll be waiting for your boss to reach back out. You'll be waiting for someone to say that you flipped out, somebody recorded it. Never say anything. Be super professional because you never know. You never know. That woman quits that company, starts a new company, wants to hire you back, goes to therapy. It happens to me not happens to me all the time, but it has happened before where like I've always thought someone didn't like me or thought I didn't like someone. And then they reach out and you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I never said the thing that frustrated me all those years ago. And this is fine. Keep it to yourself. Don't let her make you as unprofessional as she is. And don't put anything in writing that's bad about her.
Nothing in writing ever.
And by the way, don't trust your coworkers. And I'll tell you why. If they're so spineless that they won't leave, but they all agree with you, they're part of the problem. That's something that I've learned in Hollywood is the amount of times people have like shit talked other people to me. And I'm like, but you still work for that person. You still work with them. You still call them your friend. So don't be fake. Be about it. Be a person of your word. Finish your job. Tend your resignation. 2 weeks. Done. Dead. Zero. Nothing else. That's my advice to you. 30 days is ridiculous. You can say to the new person, hey, I'm always around if you have a question or something.
Not always. No.
Fine. I'm around during work hours if you feel, and you can answer that as you will, but you don't have to leave them high and dry.
No.
But they're already treating you like shit. Why would you spend extra time that you're not getting paid for once you've gotten this job? Just don't do it.
Do you like this peek into the corporate world, Iliza? Of the life you could have had?
I would probably just have to be my own boss. I don't think I would be able to.
Probably be an entrepreneur. Yeah.
I'd have to have a cool boss that was like never in so I could like sit in their chair. Be like, Gary said I could go to lunch. Gary said I could go to Houston's. I was so like boss's pet when I had a job. I was so like the cool one. I'm like, can I come in your office and work? Like I was always my boss's pet, like in a fun way. I wasn't great at my job, but like I was cool.
You know what they call that now? It's a personality hire.
Boss pet. That's me. At first, I seem competent, has a college degree, knows how to type, can do all this stuff. And then I'm like, oops, forgot to spell check. Boss pet.
Hi, Liza. My best friend and I, both 39, friends for 20 years, are going through eerily parallel relationship struggles. We're both married with kids and feeling like our husbands have just checked out. Once upon a time, my husband was a super involved dad, coached Pee Wee soccer, read bedtime stories, helped get the kids ready for school. Now, on weekends, when I'm working 12-hour shifts, he doesn't even clean up, doesn't make lunch for our 6-year-old because he didn't ask.
That's right.
And basically just plays video games on the couch. No park trips, no effort. Oh, and we haven't had sex in 6 months.
Okay.
I finally told him if I'm going to be a single mother, I might as well be one. And that snapped him to attention a little, but it feels like too little, too late. Meanwhile, my best friend's husband is just as hands-off with their 4 kids. He has a chronic porn.
4 kids? He has a chronic what?
Porn/masturbation habit and is also glued to his video games. No sex.
Oh God.
No sex in their marriage either. She's had the same talk I had, the wake up or I'm out convo, but it's like these guys aren't hearing us. What do we do when our partners aren't showing up as fathers, husbands, or frankly, grown-ups? How do we decide when enough is enough, or is there even a way back from this kind of disconnection? Love you. 2 tired moms on the edge. P.S. We've both been married 15 years. My kids, 13 female, 6 male. Hers, 18 female, 16 male, 13 female, 9 female. Older 2 are from his previous marriage where their mother passed.
Oh, geez. Oh, God. This is so above my pay grade. Your problem is not the same as hers. Okay. I'm not a doctor. So I already, when a man plays video games too much, I'm already like, how could you marry this person? I know that people get upset. I love video games. It is such a turnoff for me. Anything that men do that children also do always grosses me out. We've had people ask about porn addictions. That's its own thing. He's not fucking her because he's fucking the internet. And probably talking to girls online. And it's probably like a whole weird thing. You guys are not the same. your husband, you're not going to get anywhere with threatening him, but you do need to carve out. This is a little ridiculous for me to say because I have 2 kids and they're younger and I've been married less time, but it is like an effort to like make a decision to be like, we're going to have a date night. We're going to do this together. He's probably feeling pretty useless and he's probably feeling like you don't need him. I think nothing bad ever comes from just actually having a discussion about how you feel.
Yeah.
I mean, then the other question is like, you're saying he was always involved and he just stopped? Can you pinpoint the point where he did stop? Is he feeling like the kids are kind of old enough? They don't really need anything? Does he feel like you kind of handle it anyway? Does he feel like he doesn't have a role? I think you guys need to like not take a date night to talk about it because that should just be for fun, but like sit down and you'd be like, here's how I'm feeling and here's what I'm seeing without attacking him. Because he might be like, well, every time I do, you tell me that it's wrong or something like that. So, but just don't equate your exact issue with your friend. Your friend is dealing with something much darker with her husband.
Yeah, go you. Your husband doesn't have a porn addiction. One leg up on him.
I mean, or he secretly does, or the 2 husbands are watching each other. Do a porn. Do a porn.
They're watching each other do a porn. Oh.
I just see how people get like burnt out. Like, it's hard. Like, I have help and I still like barely can carve out the 2 hours while she's napping to like get everything else done. It's fucking hard. Yeah. And by the time the kids go to sleep, you're like, I don't want to do anything. You have to carve it out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a walk in the morning when you walk the dog because she secretly won't poop unless you're there because she's obsessed with you. Maybe it's after dinner. Maybe it's doing the dishes together. I don't know, but you guys need to like be able to reconnect or move on.
Yeah.
That's me as an armchair relationship therapist.
Good work.
Money makes the world go round. And one thing I'm always fascinated by is how people spend their money. Because it's not just about the lavish things that people buy. I also like to know how people save. What are the emotions attached to that money? What are your financial plans? And what's your attitude toward money? We all deal with money in different ways. And it's always interesting to know how people that you find interesting spend their money. The new podcast, What We Spend, delves into just that. In each episode, one person documents their lives for 1 week and captures all the ways money factors into it. Because it's easy to just look at influencers and see what they buy, and you see none of the financial repercussions. You see none of the thought that goes into it. What if we could do a deep dive and see just how people spend their money? People from all across the financial spectrum share the ways they make their money, the ways they spend their money, and all the thoughts and emotions that they have along the way. The conversations on What We Spend are intimate, fun, sometimes emotional, and always real, which is what I like. Listen to What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast, available now wherever you get your podcast. So here's something I was thinking about recently, right? We all wear headphones, but for the most part, people tend to use one of 2 kinds. Either the big cans that go over your head and they make your ears sweaty, or the brand that rhymes with Rare Bods, right? The truth is, we deserve headphones as versatile as we are. Meet JLab. Their headphones come in so many different colors, and they have different headphones for every type of activity you might be doing, because headphones aren't one size fits all. For travel, you could do the Epic Lux ANC over-ear headphones, super comfortable and sleek looking with the longest active noise canceling playtime at 60 plus hours, right? That's enough for a connecting flight and then some. For walks or working out or physical activity, there's Epic Sport ANC 3. These are a secure fit. They're not going to go popping out when you're jumping around, and a long battery life. That's 68 hours plus. Hopefully you're not working out that long. And for those of you with tiny ears, for the smallest fit ever, check out J-Buds Mini. They fit on your keychain and they're smaller than a coin. JLab has so many versions of headphones for all the different versions of, well, you. Look for the blue box at retailers everywhere or shop jlab.com and use code Iliza for 15% off your order today.
Let's do a confession.
You just want to go lay down. You're like, go on. What'd you say? I'll just be here rotting in my deathbed earlier?
Yeah, that's where I was.
Thank you. We are rotting in my deathbed.
I told someone else I was dying of consumption. So everybody's getting a different story.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Women are so tough. It's almost impossible to get sympathy out of a woman for something physical. Like, for the Patreon, I'm going to show you the mark that I have on my body right now and how horrifically ugly it is.
Okay.
for those of you listening and watching, after I had Ethan,
Yeah.
I noticed that I had a dent. Have I shown this to you, Emily?
No.
A dent on my side of my butt. And it's so dented that if I wear leggings or a tight dress, you can kind of see where it dips in.
What
And
happened?
people are like, no, those are your hip dips. And I'm like, no, that would mean that I have 2 pairs of hips because I don't know what happened. I went to the doctor and she told me what it was called because it looks, I don't have any stretch marks, but it looks like a really thick, like rectangular stretch mark.
Yeah.
And she was like, this could be from a shot, which I don't remember getting,
Yeah.
like a steroid shot in my butt. She goes, or it could be a blank. And she's like, and that's when you hit yourself so hard that the fat actually moves. And I was like, can we do it for the rest of my thighs? I have a mark that is so deep, it affects the actual way that my leg bends, like that my hip moves. Point is, this is what I'm going to show on the Patreon. Actually, we could do it, yeah, for the bonus episode.
Yeah.
I went to the dermatologist to get my IPL face laser. And I was like, can we fill this?
With what?
My hip dip with like Restylane or something. And she goes, I can try to fill it with, and it was like a saline solution.
Oh.
Because I guess if you use Restylane, it would probably be like $2,000 worth of Restylane. So I was like, okay, so she numbed it, which means she had to stab it several times and then fill it with Restylane. Not only did it fill it for about 5 minutes, so not at all, it has left me with the gnarliest, bluest, purplest, and then the blood from that went along my hip toward my crotch. So it's just like a brown line. Point is, every woman in my life I've shown it to has been like, oh yeah. Like if you've had a child or given birth or like if you are a parent, you're just like,
Just put some silly putty in there.
Like my mother-in-law's, that's awful. I got my tooth pulled yesterday. Like it's just
Right.
being a woman is just being in constant horrific pain and having no one like really care.
Right. That's, yeah.
So that's why I'm having trouble holding space for your fucking cold.
You don't need to. You've been very patient with me because I could not have recorded yesterday.
No, I also didn't want to, so it was okay.
Perfect.
But it's not that I don't care. It's just like, if you've had children and you tell anyone anything, like, yeah, they had to cut me open because my child wasn't breathing. They're like, oh, that's awful. I almost lost my leg this morning getting out of my Honda. Or maybe it's just getting older.
I'm definitely not telling women for sympathy. I'm just telling women like, I'm a little slower on the uptake today, FYI.
For sure. You're not milking it.
You got me covered. And they do got me covered.
We got you, sister. Back to back. Back to back sisters.
Okay, now we have a confession though. Revenge foot cookie. Hi, AA crew.
Oh my God.
Right? I have a petty act of retribution from when I was 19 that I would like to share. When I was in college, I moved into an apartment off campus and made friends with a guy on my floor who was also a student at my college. Thought he was super cute and developed a big crush. He started confiding in me that he wanted to break up with his girlfriend, and I was a very naive listening ear for him. One night, he tried to kiss me. I stopped him and asked if he was still with his girlfriend. He said yes, but he was going to break up with her to be with me. I was partially shocked,
gross,
confused, and a little flattered. Hello, I was 19. Yeah. But I told him, I told him I didn't want to be involved like that. If you want to break up with her because they weren't right for each other, that should be entirely separate from if he wanted to date me.
You got it.
Fast forward a couple days, he told me they broke up and asked if he could come over. I'll admit, I was very excited to maybe get to finally be with a guy I had been crushing on for so long. So I said yes. He came over, talked, we made out, we cuddled, didn't go further. While we were talking, he told me he had a foot fetish, which I had never encountered before. I know, he already knows what he wants in life. He spent the night in my bed, and in the morning I noticed that the socks I had fallen asleep in were no longer on my feet and nowhere to be found. I remarked that was odd, and he said maybe I took them and winked. I was kind of creeped out, but assumed he was joking. Plus, again, I was 19, had a crush on him, so I was very willing to let things slide, but I wouldn't now. We kissed goodbye. I thought this was the start to a new relationship. A few hours later, he texted me that him and his girlfriend got back together, and he was no longer allowed to be my friend, given that we had made out. I was honestly hurt, though in hindsight, I should have seen it coming, but mostly tried to brush it off. The longer I thought about the matter, I got. He used me and possibly stole my socks. So I decided to have my revenge in the most innocent and me-like way I could think of. I baked him a cookie in the shape of a foot and left it outside his apartment door, one bigger cookie in the shape of a sole, and 5 smaller oval cookies for toes. I'm not really sure what I meant by it, but it felt right in the moment. He reacted in a very weenie-like way and tried to get me evicted for harassment, but thankfully nothing came of it. The rest of college, we were just silent if we were in the elevator together, avoid each other entirely. What a weird situation. I never found those socks either, so presumably he did steal them. Love you guys. Anon, please, and thanks.
That's barely a confession.
I love
I baked him a cookie. I baked him several small cookies that I hope he concluded were a foot.
No, one big cookie for the soul, and then toes.
I get it.
Toe cookies.
I don't. Yeah, or it didn't look like that. Or you're 19 and it's all weird. It looks like a fetus.
I just love that. I love that she was like, what can I do?
But it's also that thing that like at that age, like guys are so unformed. I'm gonna break up here soon. I swear. Just
have your socks.
We're back together now. I also think at that age, like you don't have a fetish. You think you should. Like that's so young to have a fetish.
Yeah.
19? Based on what? A foot you saw? You're like, I guess I love this. I saw 1 foot.
I know. It is.
He tried to get you evicted is the worst part. Like, what was that report like?
Harassment. She made me a foot cookie.
It was what I interpret as a foot cookie. All right.
I like how you're really positive that this cookie did not look like a foot.
I'm positive it didn't. I'm also positive that our listeners are the least angry, least vengeful. Like maybe there's a strongly worded letter coming out of someone with a master's degree, but like, I feel like you go on Reddit, it's like, I fucked my brother and I never told my mom. Then I killed him and I put his mouse in a box. And we're just like, I had some mean thoughts about a librarian and I never told her and then I went to sleep.
I have another confession that is exactly showing how tender our audience is, okay?
We do have a tender audience.
Hi, AI crew. My boyfriend and I live together and we have ... different ideas on the standard of neatness we prefer to keep our spaces. I'm a bit neurotic and I hate when water droplets dry on the chrome finish faucet in the bathroom sink. I'm constantly wiping off the droplets after I use the sink, but my boyfriend has probably never given it a single thought. So in a silent act of rebellion, I use his bath towel to constantly wipe it down when he spots it all up. This way I don't feel the need to nag him about something so insignificant, but I get to feel a little something other than total contempt when I polish the stupid thing every other day.
There is that thing about the other side of the bathroom. Like I use my husband's toothpaste and towel a lot. I'm just like, it's quicker. Or like if I run in, I'll like use his sink to wash my hands. And it's like, why? Why not use your own? I'm like, I don't know, because yours is right there and you don't care.
I just love, she's like, I use his towel to wipe, not even to like wipe her butthole. She's just wiping the little spots off the sink.
Yeah, well, you don't want to do anything that's going to get them sick. Then it's an inconvenience too. Like, and then I gave my husband pink eye, and then I got pink eye.
No, the whole.
But yeah, you're like, if you're going to make this mess, you got to do it.
Yeah,
you got to let that go though.
That to me, yeah, that's one of the.
Don't have a
listen
chrome
to
faucet
other people's questions. You know what I mean? Like, and you're doing pretty good. Okay.
I'm looking to you for the energy. I'm doing everything. I'm holding this heavy microphone. I'm in this Japanese
It's not
room.
for holding. It's for sitting on the desk.
I can't because then it's like.
You muted it.
Then it's like this.
I know, but this is, look, see how mine is? It's
okay,
just
Emily,
on my desk.
I'm sorry they don't have this like rigged up. I don't have it rigged up.
How many pounds do you think that microphone is?
It's so heavy and I'm like holding it.
It is a big microphone because it's not a handheld. You are on a handheld and we upgraded you for better sound quality, but now you're hand holding it.
I just can't think of anything anyone cares. I'm holding it. No one needs to know. It's fine.
They know, they can hear it.
I'm just telling you, I'm doing the most.
I'm doing pretty good, I think.
That's funny. That's your email sign off. I'm doing pretty good, I think.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Should I expect... No, wait. Hold on. I did this one. Hold on. I'm doing good.
Okay.
Everything's okay.
Just all hold on while you do your job.
Everything's okay.
After I gave you a raise, this is how you show up to work?
What, the first one in 3 years I asked for? I think I'm pretty
No, you
reasonable.
can't weaponize your laziness against me. You can't weaponize your mouse-like laziness. You're like, I'll keep my head down.
Mice aren't lazy. They got a lot going on.
Your meekness.
Hey, Iliza and Emily. Top of the day, and thank you for the solid podcast every week.
I feel like I could be so mean to you today because you don't have the strength to even fight back. You're like, oh, that hurt. Oh, you got me. Write it down for later.
I'm already mad that you're making me laugh. It's really making me tired.
I get you.
If I
My
laugh
daughter's
too hard,
exhausted.
it's over.
My whole family's exhausted all the time.
People loved, so for people who are not subscribed to the Patreon paid tier, there is an extra episode every week. And at the end, Sierra came in and we don't see her, but you shared her routine when she gets home from school. And that really spoke to people.
runs into my office, takes a dump, and then goes and puts on a dress.
Yeah, people like that. Yeah. All right, top of the day. I-37, female, was let go by a company 3 months ago after a 14-year career where I was in a leadership role for the last 4 years.
Oh my God.
My separation was 2 months after returning from maternity, vacation, and discretionary days tagged together leave.
They realized that they could work without you.
After the initial shock, it seemed like a golden opportunity, given the severance pay to properly spend time with our daughter, save money on daycare, nanny care. I originally set the role to be in a new role within 4 months with financial flexibility to go till 8 months. Fast forward 3 months in, and the last 1.5 months of job searching with the extremely limited time available has been relatively fruitless. I'm extremely optimized and thorough in the nap time available, but my output is 1 application per week. My husband, 53, male, not a douchebag, super logical atmospheric chemist, seems uncomfortable with the job break from the beginning. He suggested same industry job since the beginning. In a way,
Is this a sentence? Is this written by a robot? Like, why doesn't this sound like a normal
I think this is
paragraph?
how I'm reading it. He suggested same industry job since the beginning in a way that made me think he doesn't believe my skills transfer into the more innovative companies where I'm applying.
Is she also a chemist?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've received amazing feedback on my coaching and leadership capabilities plus adaptability. I get that I'm the higher income of the household and that's stabilizing for us and our daughter, but it kind of makes me doubt myself when he doubts me. The thing is, I hated the culture of my last organization and don't want to get stuck because I'm quite loyal and unfortunately empathic. Am I being too idealistic given the responsibilities at hand, or is there a way to communicate, hold on, trust in me, just a little more time? Appreciate your input.
You don't want to work in the chemistry field and your husband is saying go back to the chemistry field because he's a chemist?
We don't know if she's in chemistry. We don't know what she's in. Whatever field
he's saying,
in,
go back to the field you were in.
Go back to your field. Now, she technically she said she wanted to have a job in 4 months, but financially she's about 8 months of wiggle room to get a new job. 3.5 months in, he's already like, just take a job you don't want to take, basically. So she's feeling a little low.
Your husband is doing it. You said he's like a practical guy, like from a practicality standpoint. And the odds probably are you'll probably have a better, easier time getting a job in the industry that you left versus like forging a new path. So he's looking at it like mathematically with that part of his brain because that's what he does. Perhaps you are a little bit more artistic and you are yearning for something. I don't know if it's creatively more fulfilling, but more fulfilling. You owe it to yourself and your health to explore that. If at 7 months it's not looking great, maybe then you can fall back on something. But I'm a big believer, and I always have, in betting on yourself. And has like a scarcity mindset, and you make more money. But in a year, it will have been worth it to find the job that you wanted. So I believe in betting on yourself until you're proven that it makes sense to do otherwise. If you have the time and you're available to do it, why not do that?
Yeah. I think what's hard right now is you're saying you're only able to get 1 application out a week. You need to get more applications out if you want this to be serious. I understand that you're saying like it's great, you can save money. You need to get your daughter in a daycare nanny 1 day a week or something and you only find a job by making it your full-time job to find a job. You need to spend more time doing it.
There's that, and you need to tell him, this is what I need to do and I would like your full support so that I can support us later. And if he's not a douchebag and if he loves you, even if it was like I want to be a sculptor, like he should support that. If it's only going to lead eventually to exponentially making more money, then he should be supporting that. And you need to express that to him because right now you're probably waffling a little bit and you're like, I don't know, should I go back? So he's just supporting the thing that seems like the best path. Tell him what you want and move forward in that direction.
Yeah.
Go confidently.
You are the breadwinner.
To quote Thoreau. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams.
I was given that book on a pond or whatever at some point because I got some award in high school and I was like, I'm not reading this.
You read On Walden Pond?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm talking about one quote.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about the whole book.
I'm sorry. I didn't read it, so I know less than you.
Sorry, it's just Walden, not On Walden Pond.
You're thinking of On Golden Pond.
I was thinking on Golden Pond. And what's funny is I did just buy Walden recently.
Yeah.
Because of another book that talked about it. And I was like, I want to feel spiritual. And it's just been sitting on my nightstand for 8 months.
Yeah.
Still getting through this Carl Sagan book, which is not a page turner.
No, not a thrill.
but it is a cool thing to bring with the intention of reading.
And when's it going to go up on that shelf behind you? No, shelf, never read.
What are these even? These are cookbooks.
It's like what the two baby shoes never worn. Walden book, never read.
Never read, previously never read. I bought it used. At least I had the wherewithal to buy it used.
Oh, I love a used book. I love a used bookstore. Cobb's?
Cobb's.
Taste the top with a cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
It is funny how like books lose their value unless it's like a first edition Hemingway or something, but like books really do lose their value. I saw a very cute video for like thrifting, and it was like someone went to a thrift store and like bought like a basket and a cookbook and a dish. And I was like, yeah, that's a great, like we're so weird as humans about like, did someone else touch this?
Yeah.
Cookbooks are the biggest money waster. Like how many books on baking are there every year? Like it's just lightning in a bottle. And I know because I live with a chef who writes cookbooks, which ones go and which ones don't. But
yeah,
used bookstores. I mean, you see free libraries everywhere. The fact that a used bookstore makes any money is crazy to me, given how people just give away books.
I know it is interesting, but I love going and spending a few bucks, and I'll spend a little more on it. But you remember The Boy Next Door, Jennifer Lopez, where the boy gets her a first edition of the Iliad. And it's like, that's not possible. You couldn't have gotten that.
Do they say that?
Yeah. No, nobody says you can't have gotten it. He presents it to her and she's like, wow, thank you. This is incredible. And it's like, how did you do that? What time period did you time travel to?
The first Odyssey with an inscription by Homer?
Like, yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's
Maybe
incredible.
he meant like first printed in
I don't know.
That's
It's
hilarious.
It's amazing.
That's got to be the joke. Maybe you saw it at the time and didn't get it.
I wasn't highbrow enough for The Boy Next Door with J-Lo. I'm sorry.
You know how there's books that you read and then there's books that you want to have read?
Yes.
I feel that way about most books, but I remember there was a book in high school called House of Leaves. Do you remember this book? You would have been in middle school.
Wait, is this the one? Did I just read it? That's the crazy one?
It's crazy.
Yes, I read it this year because I was like, I'm just going to do it. And I had to have I'd have like a little note. I'd be writing things. I had to flip it around and twist
Folks,
it.
you have to like the book. There's like books within books written and you have to hold them different ways. And it's about this house that is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
By like an inch, 2 inches.
To this day, I have nightmares about that house.
Did you read it?
I read some of it.
Yeah,
and then I was just like, I can't keep turning this book.
I mean, I had to research which one to get because it was like, oh, some of them don't like because when it was originally put out, I'm doing great. It was like, oh, could be real. This could be like the Blair Witch Project. So it's handwritten,
I don't remember
whatever.
that.
But it's crazy, and it's a heavy book. So spinning it around did make me tired.
It's not like a tome.
It's a thick book.
It's a thick book.
Bottom of the cob.
Okay. Sorry, I've been listening to a lot of T-Pain, and there's this part where he's like, I'm gonna drop and jiggle. It's like booty going up, down. And so I realized all my favorite music has at some point the N-word in it or reference to like wet fucking.
Yeah.
And so I try to take the tamest parts and sing it to my daughter. So right now she knows you make it drop and jiggle. And she just drops to the ground and jiggles. And I'm like, yep, it's not sexual if you say jiggle and it's a kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kids can jiggle too.
Kids can jiggle too. I've got my tops. I'm ready. My tobs. My top of the cob is my top.
What about your bottom?
My bottom of the cob is the word playful because it's never said by someone that I want to be playful with.
Oh.
It's always like, yeah. And like, it's always like a drama director. It's almost like, yeah, let's just play.
The word play by an adult.
Adults playing always just suggest like this carefree whimsy that makes me not feel safe. Like, let's just be playful. What if we were just playful with it? I'm like, oh, if we just batted it around. It just feels a little too like summer stock. Like we're all going to end up naked together, right? Let's just be playful. Let's just play. And then just play. Play is a noun or a verb or an adjective. Too whimsical, excuse me.
It's always, adults talk about play really, it's a specific kind of like also like weird LA, like hippie, like.
It makes me think of people like wearing cat paws, like, let's just play. Playing with you, you're playing with me, we're playing together. What would that look like? What would it look like if we just played? Meow, meow. Oh, no. It's like, it's sexual while removing the sexuality. It's just weird.
It's creepy.
I don't like it.
I
said
agree.
it.
That's a good one.
Thank you. I wrote it down.
Okay, our fan bottom. My bottom of the cob this week is how responding to text messages is beginning to feel like answering emails. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 3 under 3. Woo.
Oh my God. Tell your husband to give you a break.
I know. Get out of there, sir. By the time I am able to respond to people in the evening, it feels like such a chore. I repeatedly mark my texts as unread to come back to later, sometimes days later. It takes the fun out of conversations, even with friends. Maybe it's just an off week this week with the end of my kid's school, but it can feel like too much, especially when texts from other people require me to look at my calendar as well for scheduling purposes. Here's to a new week and hopefully fewer involved text messages. Katie.
It's hard. I totally get that. I also, now that I am a mom whose kids are getting older, I do understand. Because it used to be, I was like, people with kids, like they just don't answer. I'm like, what do you mean? You don't have a second? It's like, no, I actually don't, because I have to access that part of my brain.
Yeah.
If my husband says anything about a schedule, I saw this millennial thing where like millennials have to do like big things require the big computer. Like, I'm not going to book a flight on my phone.
No.
Computer.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I get you. You know what? It's very normal. And your real friends get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's passive aggressive, but I've become the like, I don't do a thumbs up because that's very like, gotcha, asshole. But I'll do a heart. And I think I'm curt enough that my friends get it.
I've gotten to the point where because I used to respond so much and I just can't anymore as much, I'll do the heart and then the other person will keep talking. And I want to be like, stop. I thought I ended this. I thought that I did the heart on your comment. We're done.
The heart is like, got it.
We're
Thank
done.
you.
We're good.
It's the punctuation. It's a giant period in the shape of a heart. You can also always tell who has iMessages on their computer because they type so much. The new thing now is voice message.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I haven't made it there. I just talk to text, but people leave them and I just refuse to do it. I think they're too self-important.
There are a few people I really like getting them from, but it's not, you don't want everybody doing it to you.
When you say you like getting them from, are you talking about like a Patreon where you like pay for someone to send you like a birthday message? Hey, Emily, it's Eugene Levy. Just hoping your day's going swell. Sorry you lost your job.
Eugene.
Stop by Rose's Pharmacy.
What? No. My bottom of the cob. I'm unwell. I think that's a pretty good bottom. I don't feel good. I'm tired. It sucks being sick as an adult. Nobody's taking, although my parents did leave me a COVID test outside my door this morning while I slept. So that was nice.
It's like the last thing you want. You don't have COVID. You just have the rhinovirus that I had that had like horns and a tail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Top of the cob. All right, you go first. My fans go first.
Fans go first. My top of the cob is tonight after work, I was talking to a 43 female coworker friend, and she mentioned she was dating a 30 male. Coworker asked me if that was too big of an age gap. She's blonde, definitely cute, and in my opinion, looks younger than she is, probably closer to mid-30s. I seized the moment and immediately channeled my 5 years of AIA schooling to talk about it with her for a couple minutes. At this point, I have to be nearing completion of my doctorate from Ask Iliza University. My opinion in the end was to first determine whether the guy is overall good, and if so, then why not give it a couple dates to see where it goes? The age difference isn't an automatic red light. If there's nothing obviously off, keep going with it for now. Anyway, it was nice to apply some of your wisdom to a real-life situation, even if it wasn't quite what you'd say. It'll be fun to keep talking to her about it, assuming things keep going with this guy.
Have fun. I think an AIA school thought is like, I don't have the energy to care what anyone else does as long as everyone's enjoying themselves.
Yeah, that's kind of
Everyone
it.
seems honest and happy.
Except when we hate someone.
Which is often. What's your top?
My top. Oh, okay. So I was at this conference last week where I definitely got sick and I was exhausted and it was so hard to network with people. But
I definitely got sick from that. Yeah.
I clocked that there were people there from the Asylum, the studio that makes the Sharknado movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept walking by. They weren't even at a booth. They had like a meeting table. So they were constantly meeting with like other people trying to buy or sell or whatever, like doing business. People out there doing business. This isn't like a fan convention. It's like B2B. Right. I finally, there's no one there. And I get over there and I'm like, I just want to say I love you guys. And I love these movies. They gave me a Meth Gator shirt.
Whoa.
They gave me a anniversary Asylum shirt.
Did you say Meth Gator?
Meth Gator. They're a film. Meth Gator. It has a gator on it that's on meth. And I'm just like, oh, this is incredible. It was the best. You were
like, offer me a job. They're like, what? You're like, offer me a job. Offer me any job. I'll take it.
I was like
offer me a job.
I was trying not to waste their time because I'm very cognizant of they're here to do deals. So I'm just like, I just want to tell you, I love you so much. Okay, bye. And then they were like, asking me questions. And I'm like, okay, you could go to lunch now. Thank you. Bye. And then I go back to my table with my little t-shirts like, yeah, I did something.
You're in the right place. You're where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, harassing not even like the 4 executives at the asylum. I'm just
That's
like,
exactly who
I
you
love
want. And
you.
you should have slipped them that resume.
I emailed a thank you.
If there's an opening, I'll be there with math on. Well, speaking of movies, the announcement is, the top is, I wrote a movie that we are making, and hopefully there will be an announcement out in the next few weeks in the trades. But to be getting calls from my line producer who's on the ground in the city where we're shooting it, and to be talking to casting and the offers are going out is crazy, because this is something that I started writing in, I think I started writing this movie in 2019. And it was like good on paper, just something that I would work on my own when I was feeling rejected. And then we put it with a director and a producer, and then it all fell apart. And then I kind of left it alone, but it always was in my heart. And so we are now back with real funding and real money and real people and a real director. And I'm really reticent to say anything, because even as we're sending out offers, I'm like, is this happening? But it's set to go at the top of August. So this is me telling you now that I'm very excited. And, we got a little bit more money than we got for good on paper. And so I hope that everybody likes it. And I hope that I can share more with you very soon.
Yeah.
That's all. That's annoying. But it's better than like big things coming. Stay tuned on the gram.
You said what it is. There's a movie. You've written it. You'll be in it.
I saw a countdown for Sabrina Carpenter's like new album, and it was like countdown 75 days. I'm like, you can't.
It's too long.
75 days?
No.
That's Christmas. I mean, I guess it's not that long. It's like a little over 2 months, but still.
No.
Not with the speed of news. Okay, well, that's my top.
Okay.
And we're going to click over to the Patreon now, and you can see my butt.